Alright captains, it is time for the US Navy's Tier 10 destroyer gearing. Some of y'all captains have been wondering about how I would review a ship that I found, well, let's just say less than compelling. And I pointed to my reviews on the Bayern, the Hipper, the Chapayev, and even in the Yami to an extent. Well, unfortunately, it's time for another less than compelling ship. Yes, that's right. I am not the biggest fan of the gearing. And yes, it is hard to admit it, because when I first started playing the game, the gearing was probably my most coveted and desired Tier 10 ship. And that desire was elevated even higher as I progressed up the US Navy destroyer line by reaching the Benson, which was magnificent, the Fletcher, which is unbelievably even better than the Benson, and so the gearing, yes, the gearing. Yes, the gearing. Oh no. I mean, despite the replays that you see in captains and the highlights that you're watching, my time in her was definitely not all milk and honey. Drank a lot of Pepto playing this thing. And while I was making this review, I came to understand it was probably for a couple of reasons. The first and foremost being the size of the gearing. She is a big bird, especially when you compare her to her predecessors like the Fletcher here. Pay attention to the turning radiuses and the rudder shifts. But also look at that Benson. Oh my gosh, that Benson is just a tiny little thing. You swap up the angles, you can see it again, clearly looking at the Fletcher back to the gearing, and the Benson again. Look at those small, little agile, nimble, and hostile creatures compared to that big old Bertha of the gearing. Oh my word. You can see why the rudder shift is so much slower. The top speed is a hell of a lot slower. And oh, it can make it much more uncomfortable playing that gearing, especially when you throw that gearing into a hostile environment that is the Tier 10 matchmaking, because that Tier 10 matchmaking is filled with German hydro spammers, damn you Z-52s, Stalinium firing speed demons known as kebabs with the heels. Radars everywhere, even on battleships sometimes. Ouch, damn you, Donskoy. And of course, secondaries on those battleships that have just as good a range as your main guns and are arguably just as effective. Because in the Tier 10 meta, you do have yourself some somewhat to the greatly seasoned captains who can put a lot of hot lead on your paws repeatedly and watch your health just melt away as all that lead just splashes around you and binks you in the butt. Ow, stop it! And when you pile it all together, it makes the environment Okay,
so the scariest environment imaginable. Thanks. That's all you gotta say. Scariest environment imaginable.
Yes, that's right. The scariest environment imaginable. But fret not, captains. You can put the fear of God in the little hots of your fellow scumbag DDs by utilizing your main guns in those few and far between situations in which you find them all by the onesies without their big brothers in tow, and you can send them to the bottom PDQ. Because your front profile is where your meat and potatoes are. That's how you want to roll in on the caps and how you want to roll in on your opponents, because that reduces your profile picture for them to shoot at you. But you have your 2 front mounted turrets with the 4 guns, which is 4 reasons for the enemy team to beat feet and run away if they can. Which they can because they are faster, but that rate of fire can definitely overwhelm the majority of the DDs you will come against. Now, I went through many iterations with this gearing captain, and I finally have somewhat concluded that I am a torpedo boat. That is what my gearing playstyle is now, because by this time I have learned how to anticipate the movements and the machinations of my enemy red ships, well, most of the time. And I've utilized the ridiculous 16.5 kilometer wall of skill on the gearing to wreak havoc on my enemies, including the enemy scumbag DDs. But the torpedoes is what I have gone for, captains. I didn't find the gun use that compelling of a gameplay because, like I said, the range that you are going to be working with, even with the AFT, which is bumps out to around 13.3 kilometers, you just aren't going to use it that often. And since you are so slow, you cannot kebab your way around the map and expect to live, at least for any length of time in which you're actually going to accomplish anything. So I went for the torpedo armaments and the reloads and all those modules to try to send my little angry fishies downrange, connecting and collecting the red red ribbons when I can. It doesn't happen all the times because, again, you're launching torpedoes at a pretty long range, so you're lucky to get a couple on there, and maybe every now and then you'll be able to knock that guy out. I mean, check out this reactor grate. That guy is at range. He's kind of sailing away. I'm anticipating he's going down the southwest side of that island. Fire my wall of skill and touchdown. Not a lot of damage, but it's a kill, and I'll take it. Alright, captains. Well, I picked out a replay that pretty much encompasses everything about my gearing play style and what I've experienced with her, except for the Sky Cancer. I do run the defensive fire. I don't think I'm running it in this replay. I was running the speed boost because I lived in hope of going fast. But the defensive fire is good. It can swat down some planes, but like I said, if CV wants it dead, you are gonna be dead. But in the meantime, captains, I hope you all enjoy the video, because this one definitely, I'm sure, can be chalked up as a how to and how not to gearing. So grab a snack, get comfy, and
hold on to your butts.
Alright, this match sees us top tier, surprise, surprise, on the map Mountain Range. Not a lot of DDs necessarily to worry about, and we only have a radar boat in form of the Chapayev and the Missouri. So, not too bad, not too bad.
Battle starts.
I went through a lot of iterations with this captain, and this is the one that I've come to grips with. Preventive maintenance to try to keep my stuff working, even though I do lose turrets and torpedo tubes a lot, which is frustrating. Last stand to keep puttering. Superintendent for more smoke puffs and defensive fire charges. Torpedo armament expert to reduce the reload rate of my torpedoes. Survivability expert to increase my heal pool, and concealment expert to reduce my visibility. I am looking forward to Adrenaline Rush, but there is a skill that I do want to point out, and that is Vigilance. That's something that I'm really thinking long and hard about, because the Big Bertha, that is the gearing, does eat a lot of torpedoes because she is slow. In my modules, you can see torpedo again, reload, concealment for ninja, and of course defensive fire instead of the speed boost. And my flag's pretty standard for destroyers. Alright, well, we have the southwesterly spawn, and I'm going to roll on into the A capish area. I'm going slow and low because I don't want to outrun my coverage. Because as the gearing, you are going to get focus fired by everybody in the mother. Because look at everybody on our side is just kind of taking their sweet time, and so too is the enemy fleet, I guarantee. If not, they're all going to be bunched up together. That's going to be a lot of hot lead and a lot of angry people looking at your way. And of course, radio located. Somebody's got the radio finder. And we do have the cap tripped, so that could be a destroyer, but it also could easily be a battleship. Battleship captains, I find, do tend to run the radio location thing for that late game instance in which they're being hunted by a destroyer. But who knows, it could be the DD, so I gotta be mindful and crazy Ivan juke and jive, because there could be some gearing torpedoes or even some kebab torpedoes. Now the kebab, don't know if the kebab is running concealment expert or not. If he is, then he could Invisitorp. So for me, I kind of have a general idea as to where these guys like to roll into. Either a few of them will come south into the island area. That's usually where the DDs like to hang out. So I'm just going to launch my torps a little preemptive, because I know he's not just due north of me, and he can't be on the southwest corner of the cap as well, because I'm not detected. So that's probably then the gearing. The gearing is probably the guy in the cap zone with me, and he's probably on that northwest corner of the A cap. I do have, oh, I am detected, tally ho. Yep, there is the enemy gearing. Let's open up on him. I want to try to turn, oh, he's popping smoke. Okay, excellent. Now I am gonna roll in on him and try to take him out of the game. I have to do that. He's right there. He's not going to, look at that focus fire from our fleet. Yes, I'm going to go roll in on him, try to chase him down if I can. And alright, got about another minute on my torps. Those fish didn't hit anything, but they are 16.5 kilometers. I mean, they take forever to look at. Oh, okay, he fired both sets of his torpedoes as well. Excellent, so that means it's just going to be a gun battle if you still want some. Oh, there he is. Okay, he is firing from his smoke still, so that means he is just on the outside. Yeah, look at those. You can see where those rounds are coming from, just above the waterline, so he is not that far out of cap. So let us sneak in there and chase away. Remember, I want to try to stay neutral. He did fire his torpedoes, so his torpedoes could be kind of on the same reload as mine, around 15 seconds or so now. Oh, I get a hit. I tag somebody. Fire and forget, wall of skill. Oh, I think I tagged the Montana. But I want to try to stay neutral on him. and use my front guns if I can. Oh, we're close enough to be detected. There he is. Okay, his butt guns can fire on me. I'm firing my full broadside. Now I'm gonna turn in because I am gonna be detected by everybody and his mama on his enemy side. So I'm gonna reduce my sight profile and keep laying into him, even though I'm gonna take some shots in the ribs from him. Oh my god, his engine's out. I'm gonna fire my torpedoes because they are reloaded finally on his paws where he's gonna be turning and burning away. Gonna light some smoke because I have to run away. Looking on the hot lid. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom. Good night, Gearing. Gearing is done. Fetchez took a bunch of shots in the face, but now I am hiding in my smoke. The Chapayev, though, is 8 kilometers away. He is very dangerous. He could have radar and be using it right now, but I'm not detected, so he's not using it. Maybe he doesn't have it, or maybe he's asleep at the wheel and not popping his radar, but I'm gonna fire on the curve first with my other set of torpedoes that I used the first one on the Gearing. But I don't know if that Chapayev still has radar or not. So I am going to zoom in on him, hit the F3 key, and focus fire, ask for, hey, everybody, bring the ruckus on this guy right here. Oh, man. Whew, that was close, but we did get their enemy Gearing off the board. Gearing's going to be very dangerous still, guys. Even though I'm not really feeling this ship, she can be a very dangerous beast in the right hands, and just at the right time, she can do some nasty work. Now, speaking of some work, I'm going to try to lay into this Montana. I am using my AP, and the AP can be quite viable laying into the superstructure, but I know he had just used his damage control, so I swap back up to my HE because I'm kind of expecting him to maybe turn and burn and run away, so I do want to land a fire on him before he gets going and gone, but he has taken some major hits. Oh, and there we go. We got a fire landed on him, and I'm detected by air. I'm not in with some smoke. Oh, crap. This is no good. Get on the gas. Get the hell out of here. I held my fire because I want to drop off the detection range. I do capture the base, but oh, no. Here comes some hot lid from the Codfish. Boom. Oh, right on the butt. That's your Chapayev as well. Secondaries incoming from everybody from the Montana, including, look at those secondaries from the Monty. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, 1,000 points. I finally drop off the detection, but I'm still getting hit from those secondaries. Crap balls. I had to use my repair party. Oh, I'm still getting hit. Man, they're just, stop it. Okay, curve first. I got one set of torpedoes that is locked and loaded yet again, and my second set's only 10 seconds away. So I'm gonna try to anticipate where this curve first is going. Where are you going, Gruber? He looks like he was gonna maybe try to turn in just a wee bit, so I'm gonna try to preempt him just going bow on to these guys because he has 2 targets that are engaging him right to his front, so I don't envision him going too hard left or right. So hopefully he'll just stay on that course and I can maybe knock him in the nose for 1 or 2 of them. That'd be nice. All right, that Chapayev got deleted by somebody who, our Montana definitely, knocked down that Chapayev. Good. So scroll through, let's watch our little fishies connect up the nose with the rubber hose. Boom, boom. There's one on the nose, caused some flooding. And is he flooding? No, he used his repair party. Oh, boo. So that means 15 seconds, and probably if our torpedo hits again, he'll still be immune and causes a flood, but... oh, looks like the RNGs was nice, and our torpedoes, he spliced them. But they're still going, 16.5 kilometers away, and there's a Hindenburg right behind him, so hopefully they're just gonna have a meeting of the minds. He'll catch my Wallace skill. Now I am seeing my Monty and my curve first going toe-to-toe with this curve first, and I do have it in my mind's eye to utilize my smoke to smoke them out, but things are going kind of good. Oh, enemy Missouri out there on the 2 lines, so I was thinking, you know what, that curve first is going to be down, and then these bad boys can definitely work on that Missouri. I think that Hindenburg might actually be AFK, so there's something to always be worried about for AFK ships. Oh, Kebab popped up on the mini map. There he is in his smoke, lobbing some hurt on our Predictor Great and the rest of the battleship of the enemy fleet. Yeah, there's the Montana, Ibuki, and another cruiser coming out of the sea cap, moseying on into B. All we have is our poor Mick, still left on the wrong side of that island. He is getting a lot of attention from a lot of bad people. Hopefully he's concealed in his smoke right now, but if somebody's got some hydro going or some radar here pretty soon, or it can be cuttings for Kudasov. Now speaking of cuttings, here comes my iron cutting of torpedoes, focusing on this Montana. Where is he going? I'm stalking his prey. Where is he going? Where's that Monty? Is he cutting in? Kudasov took a huge hit. He is going down hard. Looks like he's burning. So I'm guessing our Montana, it looks like Montana has his guns oriented to his port side, so he's probably going to swing back out, especially once he sees our 2 other battleships coming in on the north side. So I'm going to launch my fish and anticipating that he's going to head towards that Kebab smoke And so then he can give a broadside onto this rune and face his bow onto our Freddy and our Montana. That is the thinking. That is the strategy. That's what I'm trying to anticipate. Where is he going? That looks like the most likely scenario. So let us see if my little green triangles connect with the Montana. Come on. Oh, it's looking good. It's looking really good. It's a wall of, it's a wall of skills, so I didn't stack them on top of each other because that first set is off. Because at Montana, she's kind of fast for the U.S. battleships, so the lead is looking good for the second set of torpedoes, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe. 1 for sure. 2, 3. Boom! 1, 2, 3, and 4 torpedoes connect for a lot of damage, probably about 40,000 points of damage on the Montana. I, of course, signaled him out because he is flooding, and he's letting it flood. Oh my god, he's letting it flood. He's maybe thinking he's going to run into that kebab smoke and then use his damage control so he doesn't get lit on fire, because that rune is definitely engaging him with his butt guns and definitely could start some fires on him, but he's still flooding. Oh my goodness. Come on, flood. Let's make you a submarine, buddy. All right, now kebab. Oh, damn. Curve First just deleted himself to Missouri. So all that leaves now is that kebab, that Monty, who finally put the... Oh, no, he's still flooding. Oh, my goodness, he's still flooding away. And boom. Oh, he floods no more because Monty on Monty is done. Now that leaves is a full health, pretty much, Frederick the Great and the kebab. Now, I do not want to run into that kebab because in a gun battle, the gearing is going to lose on that kebab 9 times out of 9. Oh, my goodness. All right, now the FDG, I was trying to... Oh, there is the kebab. Oh, this is no bueno for Almonte because he's about ready to get some torpedoes. And yep, there are some torpedoes, and he's definitely going to get a lot of loving from those guns of that kebab. Either the HE or the AP are both viable from that beast and can really wreck the lives of anybody and everyone. Now, I did anticipate that FDG, since he is full health, I was thinking that he's probably going to keep going north of the island there on the BC line. And that's why I was kind of gauging. My torpedoes, if he does cut shallow, may still yet engage him. But because I saw our Montana was in a world of hurt against this kebab, I'm just going to try to run towards him and light my smoke for him and try and hopefully keep him alive. Again, it's what I do with my DDs. I like to smoke up my big boys. So I'm smoking him out. Hopefully he's going to turn and not show that broadside anymore to that kebab. I know he tried to turn away from showing the broadside in FDG, which is a good move, but that kebab is relentless. It's ruthless. And oh, this isn't looking good. This isn't looking good. Come on, get the smoke, get the smoke. Boom, boom, nope. Ain't gonna make it. But do my torps. Oh, my torps finally gonna make it. Oh, one's gonna get there. And beep. Got one. Oh, I got 2 in a flood. Excelente. Well, I also did lay down, by chance, a smoke cloud for my 3 ships in the A-cap, so that kebab probably can't see him, and neither can the Frederick the Great. But that means that it's going to take a long time for me to get there. I ain't running the speed boost in this game, if you couldn't tell. I wasn't running the defensive fire. I lucked out on that one, not getting a sky cancer. But I did run the speed boost, so I popped that thing, and let's look at my speed. Look how, I'm just flying here. 37, 38 knots. Am I getting 39 knots? Can I get a 49? Nope. Now the FDG is getting worked on pretty hard by everybody on our team. I think we got a Zal with us as well. Yep, got a Zal and a Rune. Oh yeah, the FDG is not long for this world. So my torpedoes, they do swim pretty fast with the torpedo acceleration. It'll put you over 70 knots. That's right, 71 knots I think it is. Oh my word. But these are still pretty fast, around 65. But he took a big, shit, never mind. Game over. And we sail on to victory to the tune of 153,000 points of damage off of 9 torpedo strikes, 7 floods, only 1 kill, 2 fires. So not so bad from Seguiring. No medals though, unfortunately. But I do finish tops of the charts for the blue ribbon at 2150 basic speed in the tier 10 matchup. Not so bad. Good job from Mark Kebab as well too. And our Montana, wow, Monty got 4 kills. Good job, brother. And in the detail report, pretty standard for my gearing experience. The guns, the main batteries, I really don't even pay attention to because it's just pittance for me, to be honest with you. The real Meat and potatoes for me and my gearing are the torpedoes, and 9 for almost 100,000 points of damage off of my torpedoes. I did cause 28,000 in flooding though, which is really nice. I think that Montana probably was getting burnt by that Kutuzov, and so his repair party was still on cooldown, so that's why I was able to land a couple of floods and collect some damage as far as that's concerned. But only 2 fires for, hey, that's all right though, off of 2 fires, 6,600 points of damage. And after Texas, in the tier 10 economy with the premium account, 144,000 credits with just the standard captains with 153,000 points of damage, and the win and tops of the charts, 9,700 credits. Ouch, oh my goodness. I do lose money in this ship quite often, especially if you run a standard account. Oh, be prepared to see a lot of minuses in front of that credit total. Ouch. But all in all, not a bad game for my gearing. It's something that I really experienced a lot, which is getting punched in the face real early in the match as I tried to take their enemy ship off the board, and I did successfully in this match and was able to go on and then launch my torpedoes, go in Japanese mode, and launch my ninja torps and collect the damage that way. Alright, captains, well, that was the US Navy's Tier 10 destroyer gearing. I'm fully prepared to accept that I have yet to figure out how to actually play this ship effectively, but when you compare her to the rest of my US Navy destroyers and the stats, they're not that bad, they're not that different, you know, a little bit better here and a little bit better there. I mean, look at my lovely Sims, oh, I love that ship so much. But just overall, she's actually, I do okay in it as far as the stats are concerned, so, you know, maybe I do know how to play it, but I just don't find it as exciting as some others do, and therefore I just don't do as well in her, or I don't feel that I do as well in her. And that happens, captains. You can sometimes get into ships that everybody considers stinkers, like me and my Pensacola, me and my Omahas, me and my Atlantas, and just make them sing and just have a wonderful gaming experience with them. But then I get in other ships like the Chapayev that people love, the Yamato people love, the gearing that people love and can do extremely well in, and I just do not find that game style compelling, or perhaps even I just haven't quite figured it out yet. That can happen to you, captain, so don't get frustrated when you get in God's greatest gift to warships and you're terrible in it. Because each and every one of us mortal captains have 1 or 2 of those ships in our fleet. Well, captains, I hope you all enjoyed my review of the gearing and learned a little bit about how to, and of course, as always, especially in this one, how not to gearing. But I thank you all for watching. So until next time, I will see you all in game. Have fun. Fair seas.